This is the Arrtx Watercolor Sketchbook, and here are the details. Cotton, absorbent, cold press. It has a nice golden logo on the back. I like that. And now, let's start this review. I decided to put this sketchbook to the test with a painting challenge. If you are familiar with my channel, you probably know I try to do quite a bit of this. And this was the first day of the prompt. The pictures were all provided by the lovely creator. And I must admit, as soon as I put the first layers of paint on the paper, I absolutely loved how it looked. I honestly didn't expect it to enjoy it as much as I do. I'm not sure if it's because I usually don't really use 100% cotton paper, so unfortunately I don't have much of a comparison to give to you, but from what I've been using in the past, I thought this was performing really, really nicely. One thing that surprised me quite a lot is that you had the smooth paper and then the next page was rough paper, so it was alternating between the two. I haven't seen this in any other sketchbooks. I'm not sure exactly why the reason for that is, but I think it's something for you to keep in mind. This is their smaller size sketchbook. I know for a fact that they have bigger sizes as well, but for me this worked quite well because I was doing this challenge, so the size seemed quite perfect for it because I didn't want to spend a lot of time every day on this. And I kept testing it throughout the week with different paintings. Everything is pretty much landscape themed, so it's a much looser style of painting I was using in this. I'm not quite sure how it would take lots of layering or a much more detailed type of illustration, but for this exact type of painting, I've found that it looked absolutely amazing. I really didn't have any complaints. The paint was staying wet on the page, but not too wet. I'm not sure exactly how to describe it. I can definitely see how it was absorbing in the paper compared to some of my other sketchbooks where it kind of just sits on top of the page rather than sinking it in. So that allowed me to do some different type of blending. But it was still drying as well, so it wasn't staying too wet for too long on the page either. And I have to tell you, these have been some of my favorite paintings I've done so far this year. It's really rekindled my love for watercolors and for painting landscapes in watercolors. And especially recently, as I've started a new full-time job, I found it much harder to make time for my art, but this challenge was a nice way to push me to do it. And because I really enjoyed what I was doing and the end result of these paintings, it made me want to do more. So I just wanted to jump in and talk a bit about my thoughts about this sketchbook, because I must admit I was very pleasantly surprised with how it handled watercolors. I'm quite surprised this is quite affordable for 100% cotton. The size, it's just a bit on the small size, so this is compared to my head, but I still think this is pretty decent because I have a sketchbook from a different brand. It's quite small and you can't do much on it. I think this is postcard size. If you work on double-sided spreads, I do really think this is more than enough what you need. My only slight issue with it is that I do prefer the smoother side of the paper rather than the rough side of the paper. I do wish they could release one that's fully smooth and one that's rough, because I would probably go for this fully smooth paper, because on the days where I used the rough paper I didn't like my work quite so much, but I think that's just purely down to my style. Now, this is the Arrtx Mixed Media Sketchbook, which I've actually tested it a bit in a previous video, but I thought it would be nice to talk about both of these sketchbooks because I have been seeing them around online. This one is more intended for drawing medium. I haven't actually tested it with paint, but I did test it with their own acrylic markers, which it really worked out nicely. I didn't see the markers ripping up the paper or anything, and I did test it with various drawing mediums, colored pencils, graphite pencils and so on, but I did enjoy using the acrylic markers on it the most, and it does make sense as I feel like Arrtx is known for their acrylic markers more than anything else, so it's good they created a product that works with that. Another thing that I liked about both of the sketchbooks is that they lay completely flat, and the mixed media one has like a pocket so you can store different travel things or tickets or inspo in it, so I think that is always quite nice to have, very similar to how the moleskins are. Now, both covers on the Watercolor and the Mixed Media Sketchbook have this glittery cover, which I personally really like stuff like that. It just gives it a bit more of a magic element, let's say. But I like both of these sketchbooks. I've been using them for a while now. I would say the one thing with the mixed media, it just has slightly too many pages for my liking, but that is not necessarily a problem. And yeah, I'm really curious to know what you think of these sketchbooks. Have you tried either of them? What's your opinion on it? Would you like to try them in the future? I always love reading your comments, and also if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. It does help my channel a lot, and hopefully we'll be back on the usual uploading schedule. It's just with my new job at the moment, things are a bit harder to fit in than they were in the past. I actually really do like both Arrtx sketchbooks, and I think they're pretty good value for what you get. I mean, you get so many pages in the mixed media one, and you still get quite a few pages in the watercolor one. I think I do prefer it slightly more than my Handymüller sketchbook, although I would have to put it more to the test. So that's it for today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed this one. I know it's been a long time since I posted a video, and I really do hope I'm gonna be back on track with the weekly schedule. But until then, hopefully I will see you in my next one. Bye!